Mel, everybody, I'm Cantonese Cat. Hey, everybody, Cantonese Cat. Quick update on DOGE. I am extremely bullish on altcoins and including DOGE, which is the original meme coin. You can see that DOGE so far has gone through 3 cycles. The first cycle here, the second cycle here, and the third cycle here. Pretty much whenever you have a cycle happening, the 20-month moving average basically went from negative to flat to positive. In general, it would flip it from resistance to support, and whenever it ends up doing that and it ends up being really good support after back testing and support for a couple months or so, if it's able to find good support here, market maker is like, okay, ready to go. Generally, that's how a bull market starts. The last cycle did not show anything different. The cycle before that did not show anything different. The 20-month moving average was really the driving force. As soon as it flipped from resistance over here to support, it was time to go, right? What do we have here so far? We have flipped it from resistance to support, and it's been close to about almost like 10 months now. We did have a little bit of a push up here. That was a really good run here. If you think about it in the Elliott wave sense, if you believe in those Elliott waves theory, I like to think about it in generalities, because Elliott waves they're a little bit deterministic sometimes. You have to come up with different scenarios. But in general, when it comes to Elliott waves, you have wave 1, which, when in comparison to Bollinger Band, wave 1 is the one that really is starting to kind of stretch the Bollinger Band, allowing price to kind of go up a little bit higher over time. And then 2 is the one that is very much of a corrective wave, getting everybody to get disbelieved again because they've gone through a severe bear market for the last few years. They think it's just going to be the same thing. And with this, they're finding some pretty crucial support here on the 20-month moving average. This is generally what happens in wave 2. And if it holds, it might start a wave 3. Now, wave 3 is going to be the strongest out of them all. So, for example, this is wave 1 over here. This is the wave 2 correction. The last wave 2 correction was extremely short. And then wave 3 just boom. It's like basically it's the longest and the most powerful wave on the way up. And I think we might be experiencing that soon. A lot of people are either just not really that interested in Doge, or they just don't really think that it's going to do anything again. There is the question of, hey, what do you have to kind of back up that Doge is going to pump again? Yeah, I guess they've been accumulating. I mean, this basically looks like a very much of a Adam and Eve pattern. Like the way I see it is, it doesn't matter why they're accumulating. What I know is that they are accumulating, and that this is an Adam and Eve, and this is a backtest. And the backtest so far is holding. There's no reason for it to go all the way down to 5 cents. This is just not how market structures work. And I already think that we've already had a pretty brutal downward trend here. Grabbed a lot of liquidity that probably had a lot of stop loss here. Probably was not expected to kind of touch these areas down here below 10 cents. Came back down, grabbed liquidity. I think they were ready to kind of go up again. Even on a lower time frame, you just kind of look at the daily chart over here. There's really no reason for it to kind of go down any further. I mean, it really broke on this wave 2 here. It really broke through this trend line over here pretty convincingly, right? And you back tested it, and it's ready to run. Right now, the market structure here, even a lower time frame, is forming higher high, higher low compared to here, and another higher high over here. So it looks like it really wants to just keep going up a lot higher, moving forward. There's really no reason for it to stop and go back down and grab any more additional liquidity anymore at this point. You look at the 20-week moving average is also reclaimed. The 20-week here is also reclaiming the Bullish support band from resistance to support. The Bullish support band has finally flattened, allowing it to potentially serve as support zone to push price up higher again. The Bollinger Band is squeezing, telling you that, hey, maybe over the next few weeks, a bigger move is going to come. So a lot of really great things I'm seeing here when it comes to Doge. Now, if you are wondering, is there hitting, some kind of resistance here? The answer is yes. There is resistance, and there's going to be pretty strong resistance in around 14 cents. The weekly Ichimoku cloud is still going to be here. I think that we're probably going to end up hitting resistance here, and we're going to have to come back down, back test, wait for the Tenkan Kijun to kind of do its thing over here over the next few weeks. Back test it somewhere around here, maybe at 12 cents, maybe 11 cents. I do not know exactly how far it's going to go. Come back down, back test, build up some energy, and then push through this vulnerable area of the Ichimoku cloud over here. Green generally means go, by the way, so it's usually serving as a little bit of a better support than resistance, and it's going to probably be pushing through over here after it got the initial rejection. I do not think it's going to go past on the first try, right? But if you look at a higher time frame, you look at like the 2 week, you're basically seeing the same thing. Price kind of went inside the 2 week Ichimoku cloud, tested the bottom of it, found support. It wants to go back to the top part of it, whereas the top part of it is going to be around 14 cents, right? If it's able to break through, great. If not, come back down here a little bit and then find a vulnerable area here. Or sometimes it's just to go sideways, and it'll break above the cloud and it'll go up a lot higher, right? That's kind of what I'm looking at here. Now, in addition to 14 cents, do we have another area that could potentially be strong resistance? Yes. The other strong resistance area is going to be around 38 cents. Right, because this is the top of the monthly Ichimoku cloud, so that's going to be a pretty strong resistance area. Now, with that said, did the bull market last cycle care about the monthly Ichimoku cloud? The answer is no, right? It looked at a monthly Ichimoku cloud, laughed at it, and just pushed through, right? So I don't know whether or not it's going to be that strong resistance. It could very well be. I think that this cycle is healthier than last cycle, is slower than last cycle, and it's just been consolidating a little bit more sideways compared to last cycle. But even just looking at the monthly chart, like if I don't use any indicators here, this is a higher high compared to that. This is a higher low compared to that. There's nothing bearish about the structure, right? And on top of that, I'm gonna put out some other indicators here. The first indicator I'm gonna do really is the Gann square. I think I'm gonna do a Gann square from the last cycle low over here. And I'm going to do let's see, I'm going to do a 720 duration, and I'm going to do 0.01 here on the ratio, right? And when I do that, you're going to see a pretty remarkable market symmetry here. Let me see, 0.01. You're going to see some pretty remarkable market symmetry here. And you're going to see something that is happening that looks quite bullish. One thing is, you can see that how it's just been kind of hugging these arcs, and now it's finally pushed through the arc, got rejected here, the angle and horizontal zone. Came back, basically just rolled through this arc down here, and so far it's only Thursday night, Friday morning, but it looks like it wants to push above the arc over here. Now, is it going to end up pushing above the arc immediately, and it's just going to close the week like this? I do not know. All I know is it's getting close to the weekly Ichimoku cloud resistance here. So what I would expect it to do, maybe get rejected at 14 cents, 14.2 cents, somewhere around here, or maybe even get to the top of the cloud here around 16 cents. I don't know. Probably going to end up getting rejected though. Maybe back test the cloud here around 14 cents, or if it gets rejected around 14, it could go back down here, roll down here on the arc, find a vulnerable part of the cloud and push through, get to the next target, which is going around 22 cents, which is where it got rejected last time. After that, where is it going to go? Well, maybe the arc's up here, right? Are we there yet? I don't know. I think we still trying to figure out the resistance at the weekly Ichimoku cloud. We're still trying to figure out the horizontal line here, which we got rejected here last time. And then we can talk about, like 60 cents, 40 cents. And if it passes through that, we can talk about maybe $1.20, something like that, $1.30, something like that. And then if you're able to pass through all that, then you can talk about maybe $3 or $4, I think a lot of people think that's absolutely insane for me to say these numbers. Maybe. I mean, I don't know. It's people talking about like market cap like it's a thing that you have to take into consideration. The thing is, you don't really have to have like trillions amounts of dollars to really get a $1 trillion market cap for an asset. All you need to do is just some euphoric sentiment and overstretching, and you can get there. Can DOGE get there to $4 based on Fibonacci extension level? This is a log scale. It certainly can. Or 1 plus 6.8 is around $4. $4.13 to be exact. Is it going to push through one arc to another to get up to the second arc up here? I don't know if it has enough juice to do that, but I do think that the cycle is probably going to end up at least hitting around like 50 cents, if not higher, around like $1.30. I do think that those targets are most likely going to hit. Now, if I don't use a log scale fib here, if I just use a regular Fibonacci level here, the 1.618 Fibonacci extension, 1.2. Can it go past beyond that and get to the 2.618 Fibonacci level around 1.9? It certainly can be, right? And that could be where the cycle ends. It doesn't all the way get up to like around $3 or $4. That would be a dream if it does, but it can end the cycle here around 60 cents, $1.20 or $1.91. Those are kind of my thoughts in terms of that. And the ultimate target, if it ends up getting there, it's going to be around $3 or $4. So those are kind of my thought. I just don't think it's going to come back down to like 5 cents. The market structure just doesn't really make sense for it to do that. Like even if it comes back, if it breaks down underneath the arc, it's just going to find support around like 8 cents, 9 cents, somewhere around here. If through the unfortunate event, if it ends up doing that, right? If it ends up breaking down this horizontal, this diagonal breakout, if it ends up breaking down through here, it might backtest this confluent zone over here around 9 cents. I can see that. Why would it have to go all the way down to 5 cents? I do not know, right? That doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me. It also has a lot of additional support, like the 2-week Ichimoku cloud down here around 8 cents, show it needed. But overall, the market structure just doesn't really support that, because we are having a longer term trend change, and we're finding some pretty decent longer term support, including the 20-month moving average, which has been flipped from resistance to support, and it looks like it wants to run higher. That's what I think about Doge. I'm going to stay around with Doge. I might still add Doge at where it is right now. If it gets rechecked around 14 cents, it go down to like 12, 11 cents. That's even better. Anyway, have a good one. Bye.